Hey, Neil McDonnell here. I am starting a company called NancyCo, a government contracting business, to be able to get it to $1 million in 2025, to show you that if you follow the process I've been teaching for 8 years, you will be able to create a company and start making money. I'm kind of eating my own dog food, if you will, or walking the talk. It drives me nuts sometimes when I know that I'm teaching people the right process to succeed, but they're not succeeding. And I thought one of the best ways I might be able to help you is to see what I teach from a different angle. Instead of me just saying, oh, you should do this, you should do that. No matter how great I get with my advice, it's still just me saying what you should be doing. And so instead, I'm starting this company called NancyCo. Nancy's my wife. And I'm going to go to $1 million by the December 2025. And instead of doing a lot of teaching in there, I definitely will teach because I just ramble on and I'll tell you what I'm doing, but I'm showing you step by step, nothing hidden. In fact, somebody could just follow along and create a business exactly like I'm doing. I don't even think I'm going to hide like who I'm going to reach out to in the government, like the buyer that I'm going to go knock on their door. So anyways, if this is your first time here, welcome. Make sure you binge watch, get rid of Netflix, start watching NancyCo's journey, the journey of me taking you down this path. I have done this before myself. After I got out of the Army, I started a government contracting business, built it successfully and sold it and started another one. And I've had 20 years of experience as a small business owner in federal government contracting. Since 2018, like I said, I've been teaching people. Government contracting, it's not a secret, it's just a process. When you follow the process, you're going to have success. Okay, what I want to sit there and talk about today is, I was going to talk about something else, but yesterday's episode 11, I think today's the 12th, so today's 12th January. Yesterday, I showed you how I went and got a logo because I was getting ready to create my capability statement, and the very first thing in the top left-hand corner is a logo. I'm like, I don't have a logo. Let me go create a logo. And I'm showing you everything from scratch. And so I went to Fiverr, I ordered a logo, and it came back. So I want to walk you through that process. And today's episode is going to be about that. Show you the dialogue that happened, show you the logo I got. I don't really care about logos. This is really important for you to remember. I traded comments with somebody on YouTube about, the logo being a placeholder. I'm like, logos don't mean anything at all until you're really successful. And then that Nike swoosh logo or whatever that you have on the shoe, then it means something. People are like, oh, that's a really good logo. But before you make any money as Nike, for example, people just look at it, it's like, well, your logo is just like this swoop. Well, it's like, what is that? Now it means something. And so no matter what logo you pick when you're a small business and you're starting, who cares? Just as long as it's the right size, that's all that matters, because I can't tell you what anybody's logos look like. And I've been looking at thousands of businesses. I can barely tell you what my own logos look like. Right? So anyways, keep that in mind, that it doesn't matter what your logo looks like. Just get something decent and get started. Don't ever use things as an excuse to not keep moving forward. All right, so I want to find this this Fiverr website that I want to share, and I want to show you the process. I'm just going to take you right into Fiverr and show that to you. By the way, if you have any questions, let me know as we go along. Happy to answer them in YouTube. Oh, if you're on YouTube, thank you, and stay on here because this is the only place NancyCo's journey is going to be. But make sure you're engaging in the LinkedIn community. I live and breathe government contracting over on LinkedIn. And so that's where you can meet all sorts of people, network, and get to know others within the government contracting and federal space. Go to tomorrow is Monday. I don't know when you're watching this, but we've got a live networking event tomorrow. We already have over 200 people registered. We're probably going to be doing this at least once every 2 weeks, if not every week, where we do live virtual networking for free. So you just meet people. I want you to meet my 36,000 connections. Okay, so I think I'm sharing the right screen. Hopefully I am. Okay, I went into Fiverr yesterday and I just ordered, and I'm going to do this pretty quickly. Control W, I want to get rid of something. I'm just going to come in here and show you the entire activity, which is perfect. So let me scroll down. This is Fiverr, watch yesterday to learn. So here it is. This is a perfect way for me to just teach you how I went and got the logo really quick, right? I placed the order yesterday at almost 3 o'clock. I submitted it at 3 o'clock here and I paid for it. They set the delivery date for tomorrow. I already got it this morning, so it was squared away. And then this company brand's identity or some person who's doing a 1099 gig, whatever, they came back. They're like, hey, I got everything I need. You're good to go. You can watch yesterday's video to see what I wrote to him. I didn't write a lot. I'm like, I'm a government contractor. I just need a logo. And then we had a little bit of back and forth politeness. Please, thank you. You're welcome. Those are always good. So he got back really fast, right? I submitted the order, and then this guy got back and said, I'm starting. And he was off to the races. And this morning, 8 o'clock, he's already got the logos to me. And so you can see these two. I'm not going to click on them. I'll just zoom in for the moment because I'll just click on the final. But these are the two logos. I didn't particularly like this one, that loop. I was kind of looking for an N. And then I saw this one. I'm like, oh, that one looks good enough. Actually, let me click for a second. Where is it? So here, let me zoom back out. So here was just his quick design. Remember, I paid $14 for this. I'm not expecting a lot. But the first thing I said to myself and then to him is, I don't like the name in there. I want this logo to be basically a square, even if there's some design in there, a square image that I could place in the top left of my capability statement and the bottom left of any PowerPoint slides I do. So that's what I was thinking for. And NancyCo, the whole name, it makes the logo too wide, and I don't want that. So I recommend you have kind of a square logo. It doesn't, the actual logo graphic doesn't have to be square, but basically the space is square. So you can imagine if I did this as a square, it's really big. Let me go back for a second. All right, so he got them to me, and then I wrote back these two comments. Let's see if it shows it. I might have to come out. Okay, so it's a little hard. Let me see if I can't share that. But the first thing I said is, you know what? Oh, no. The first one I said is this logo has a company name in it, but that won't work. Primary place I use this logo is blah, blah, blah. And then up here I said, oh, if I put a comment in for this one, I said, oh, I think I like this one without the company name. You can strip the name. So I was a really easy customer. You know, he got back this thing. I'm like, it's got an N. NancyCo sounds good. I gave him guidance about, you know, kind of make it like the federal world. So a little bit of red, white, and blue. Yay, America kind of thing, right? So I was able to get it. So I gave him two comments, and he came back. He's like, sounds cool. He provided his own comment here about, well, he asked a question somewhere in there, but that's just a thank you. And then he came back and he said, so this is the final design, that NancyCo. Is that what you want? And I'm like, yeah, looks good. And here I gave my opinion because for some reason I can't stop giving my opinion. But I said, yeah, people tend to spend too long trying to perfect the logo and never figure out how to get their first customer. So this is a good start. If I start making money, I can come back and redesign, or I could sit there and say, why bother? Let's just go sell more. Apparently the logo's not stopping us from getting success. And then he came back and he's like, okay, it's done. I'm sending it to you. I looked at it and then I signed it. And by the way, I made sure I gave a review, right? 5 stars. I'll work with this freelancer again. They're responsive, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you give people reviews whenever you can. We all like that. But this is what he came up with. So let me stop sharing for 1 second and share another screen. And I'm going to just show you the final logo, and then we'll talk about that in 1 second. I think this is it. Wait till you see my NancyCo new company logo. It is spectacular. Said a little bit tongue in cheek. Look at that logo. So 1 day later, for 14 bucks, somebody else did the logo. I didn't have to stress about what does it look like. I don't care, but wait till you see this on my capability statement when I start going into that tomorrow. It'll fit in that top right. It'll look good. Pretty soon, I'm telling you, you'll come back when I sit there and get this to a $1 million in revenue. You'll come back and you go, that logo. I've always liked that logo. Don't get obsessed with things like your logo or your URL. I went to get my web domain and I said, oh, I want NancyCo.com. It was taken. So then I was like, what about Nancy-Co.com? It was there. I'm like, okay, there you go. I got it. The idea is, we call it minimal viable product when you're doing these type of things, is what's acceptable, what's just enough work that it's a good finished product. You can always go to perfection later, but they say that perfection is the enemy of good or good enough. And so you really just want to get this stuff done, because I don't care about the logo. What I care about is a capability statement so that I can start telling people, hey, I got this company, NancyCo. Can I work with you? Blah, blah, blah. I'll tell you more about that. Okay, so that was today's thing, just walking you through every day. Again, make sure you come to my networking events. I love that you're here on YouTube. I appreciate it. My views are going up. So usually they don't tend to go up because I'm always sending people to LinkedIn and they get off of YouTube and go over there. But NancyCo, it's only going to be here just because it's easy for me. But if you have questions about the logo, about Fiverr, feel free to put it in. Oh, really quick, before you go, I get people asking me questions, and I just want to go to YouTube really quick and see if there's comments I can answer. It's funny, like, does anybody else get this spam? Well, whatever. But I'm getting spam now on YouTube. I never used to get it, but apparently I'm popular enough to get spammed. So I was just looking in here to see if people had different questions, and I don't see any that are in there. But I think I'm going to create a list of questions somewhere in my PowerPoint so I can keep coming back and answering questions. One of the best ways we learn is when we listen to somebody else's question and then the answer, and then we're like, oh, that makes sense. All right, so tomorrow, if you're wondering what day 13 is like, January 13th, I'm going to start with a capability statement. I am waiting on Harvard Business Services to come back and tell me my company name is available so I can form my LLC. But if they don't come back with that, then I'm going to work on the capability statement, and I'll bring up Microsoft Word. I'll show you how I build it in Word, not Canva or anything fancy, but I build it in a tool that I have. And I'll show you that template. And then I'll also give you a link to the template in case you want it. All right, I'm out of here. Have a good one. Put comments in the chat if you've got any questions, etc. Talk to you soon.